to go out, maybe a colleague's wedding. We need to go and pay. Bukky already has that. She already has that. What it takes. So I was making up for people, getting their money, selling makeup products and everything while working. This was 2009. Now, they're doing that. And already I started thinking, okay, by the time I do this makeup now, makeup is not enough. I can't see myself going to people's houses, putting makeup on their faces. I think I should move a step higher than this. I should move a step higher than this. Then I went in again. And during this period, I was also juggling my master's degree. So you can imagine, after work, you're going for master's and going for training and doing makeup business. So I was multitasking. But at the same time, I was making money. I was happy. I think I felt fulfilled. And while we were doing this, I thought to myself, okay, women, they tell me, oh, Bukky, do you know how to make hair? Do you know how to this? Do you know how to? I learned that one by the side. Then I looked at it again. Makeup money. I don't think makeup money is okay for me. I mean, I'm beginning to love what I'm getting. Then I started going online, training myself on how to make clothes, fashion. But before I started the fashion business, of course, during the weekends, I rushed to Lagos under the rain sun, rushed down there. I started buying clothes, from all this, of course, China wares and all that. Sometimes when I travel, I bring in clothes, sell to people. And I told myself, when customers call me back, Bukky, this cloth, but you told me this is a size 12, and you sent me a size 8. Don't forget, China people, they are really pinchomic in nature. I started having problems with my customers. Now I talk to myself, how am I going to make this? How am I going to solve this problem again? Sometimes they'll even bring clothes. Bukky, this cloth has loosened here. Bukky, but the model putting on this cloth is not exactly what you see versus what you ordered for. I started getting, I started having issues again with my customers. And now, what did I learn from where I was working? Problem solving, how to solve problems, how to think within the box. And I told myself, what I'm particular about now is customer satisfaction. How do I make my customers smile? How do I give them that excellent customer service? I left everything I was doing. That was after the sack. Went fully to learn how to make clothes. You can imagine someone about to do a PhD, ditching that PhD to learn how to sew clothes. I left everything, and that's why they say, do not despise your days of humble beginning. Don't forget, this was somebody who had gotten to a particular position. Let me say managerial position. Now, I brought myself down, forgot about every other thing, forgot about my status as a married woman, left my car, left, everything, and went to learn how to hold scissors and sit on the machine. It was a very beautiful journey. I wouldn't want to say tough, because most times I don't have to drive. I have to go on public transport, and all the way from Ikeja to Ebutemeta, the hustle, the bustle. And by the time I got there, when the madam saw one of my pictures, she was like, madam, and you came to learn fashion. I said, no, don't worry. Learning, nobody's going to take that skill from me, because this is what I have. I can share it with people, but you can't take it from me. So another one, that's grooming yourself, moving yourself from this spot to the next spot, and climbing another step further. Now I became someone who didn't even know anything about holding needle and thread. I make really lovely clothes. So after that, I said to myself, okay, now fashion, making money, small money. You know, the more you grow, the more profit you make, the more money you want, the more insatiable passion you begin to, you begin to get, you want challenges. I love challenges. So you have to challenge yourself. I challenged myself again. I said, okay, Bukky, I want big money. I want profit. I want real profit. So what's the next thing? Because I'm a very restless person when it comes to working hard, I decided to delve into real estate. Most people will say, oh, real estate for men, the challenges and all that. But until you get there, before you know how it feels, the person who tried and failed is better than the one who never tried at all. So I told myself, this is it. Now, real estate is a very challenging um, business. It's quite challenging because you have so many people out there doing the same thing, proposing the same property to people. And I had to learn this again. I had to go for my training, how to talk to customers. Of course, I already developed that idea while I was working as a customer service um, expert. I had to do that also. And here we are. So that's where the name Westbox came out from.
Wow. I would say I could see that you can't even use your slide. You're just sliding through it because what you have is even more than what you've jotted down. That's a powerful one because I imagine you, the same Bukky Jamah that I know seeing on the billboards. I guess you were working with all those Omotolas and all that in those days, I guess.
Yeah. I started my face modeling in 1990, 1997 precisely. My first big job was the Crush billboard. After the Crush billboard, um, I did Coca-Cola. I did I did I did the host of calendars. And let me say my supposedly colleagues now. That's Omotola Jalade. Yes, we're on the same, even Sylvia Edem. We used to attend the same casting and all that. I knew I wanted to be an actress. I wanted to be an actress. I knew where I was heading to. But then sometimes, your journey sometimes, there's a Yoruba proverb that says, where the elderly see, the young ones cannot really see. Or when you cut a tree, it's the elderly ones that know where the tree may land. And because I come from a very strict Catholic family, I come from a very strict Catholic family. And my dad being a knight then, a military officer, my mom being a very strict, you know, a disciplinarian. The rate at which I was going, the rate at which I was making money. Of course, my first car, I bought it when I was in year three because I was making thousands. And my parents became scared. Like they weren't, now are we in control of this child? Are we going to be, they became scared. And I got into trouble for that. I got into trouble, you know. Sometimes my dad would ask me, where are you coming from? I went for casting, and it's like all these billboards, your face everywhere, your face everywhere. I don't like it. I don't like it. You have to concentrate on your studies. Sure, I had to listen to my parents, and I caught that aspect. But because there is an innate passion. You will know yourself. Something you love to do, you will know yourself, you know? So, and I had to stop so I could come out of my university with flying colors. So it was a sacrifice. It was a sacrifice. And we are still here, responding to change and not forgetting who we really want to be.
All right. Yeah. Bukky Jamah. We've had all the journey, but I was looking. You said they sacked the married women. Were you married when you joined Global?
No, like every other person, young lady, I wasn't among the married women that joined Glow. I joined Glow as a single lady. I
Oh,
joined
and they now
that
sacked you
company as
guys
a
after
single
working
lady.
for that numbers of years.
Well, yeah, and like I said, I never regretted it. Yes, we were laid off unexpectedly, and the thing is, when you put in your best, okay, like my slide, I put in external drivers of innovation and the internal drivers of innovation. Now, responding to customer demand, okay? I put in my best, everything you can imagine, all right? So and there's this proverb I always say, a clear conscience fears no accusation. I've already built myself, and that's why, you know, I didn't feel anyhow. I didn't feel anyhow.
So I could see you have this passion in you, but I do ask people, since you have a passion for fashion, modeling, and all that, how come you allow the family thing to just make you to stop it? Was it just something you made up your mind? Because I believe that was your passion. Because in Globacom, people know you as a fashion person and all that. And you said you were awarded when you were in Globacom, right?
Yes.
What was the award
I
then?
was one of
And
the outstanding staff.
even
Yes.
with all this business that you do,
No, I wasn't using the company time to do my business. I wasn't using the company time to do my business. Of course, the normal company time is speculated 8 to 5. Bookie leaves home. Like I said, the position I occupied was a very, very sensitive position. I leave home probably 5:30, get to work by 6, before 7, doing my reports, making sure I do the right thing. And I don't close till sometimes 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. Engineer Pompey used to come to my office then, my department, and sometimes we close, like you guys work very late. And you guys are the factors why we don't close early, you know. So I try to use my weekends. Then I also have hands that are trained to do my running around for me. Okay, meet this person, go and do this makeup for this person, do that makeup for this person. And if they say book it till we want, till we want, hey, no, I have my speculated time. Saturdays and Sundays, yes, I'm free. So that's where my slide comes in. If you look at the where we have on the board now, where we have the drivers of innovation. Okay, hello.
all right, yes, I can hear you. You know why
Yes,
I'm
drivers.
even, yeah, drivers of innovations, internal and external. Wow. You know why I'm
Yes.
even happy tonight bringing you on board, because I've been going for you, is that I have someone here that he has to talk tonight, because I was at a seminar, one of his, he was he was at a program yesterday, and it's someone that I believe you won't even imagine it. Mr. Joseph Ogundare, yesterday I was at this one of his program when he talks about workplace intelligence. And there's a lot of things that we learned there. So if Joseph I believe Joseph is a very close person to you right from university days. So I'm giving Mr. Joseph, kindly please unmute yourself, because I know little of this story from university to your school days to the global com days. So Mr. Joseph is here to even testify to some of those things that we all faced during those days. So Mr. Joseph, the workplace intelligence training that you delivered something extraordinary yesterday. We all learned from it. Can you please unmute yourself at this point? And I believe you have one or two things to contribute to Bukky Jamah. Yeah, Mr. Joseph Ogundare. Hello, Mr. Joseph. Mr. Joseph. I guess it's because he even, okay, I think is because he even dropped something in the chat room. He said in Unilag, being in the same class with Bukky, I thought she was going to be a model or artist. Outside that, I thought she was going to be.
Hello.
Oh, good, good. I have you here. Thank you very much, Mr. Joseph.
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
Engineer Pompey, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
I didn't hear the last things you said. I didn't even know you were on the program yesterday until I'd left, and then I looked at the roll call, and Stella was telling me you were
powerful, there. But the timing was not enough for you.
I apologize.
The timing was not enough because
I understand it was just
we needed more from you. I guess his network.
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you now.
Engineer Pompey, can you hear me?
Yes, please.
This network. Hello.
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, okay. Bukky, I was saying good evening. Did she hear me?
Yes, she can.
Oh, good evening. This is a surprise. Good evening, Joseph.
Okay, I can't seem to hear her very well, but I think the network is a bit bad. That's a Glow network for us. Engineer Pompey, you can hear me, right?
I can hear you loud and clear.
I can hear you too. I can hear you.
Okay, let me just say, Engineer Pompey, good evening to everyone in the house this evening. Thank you very much for this program, and every time it comes up, I've been listening to Bukky. And I would say I must say I'm very much impressed, but I don't want to talk about Globalcom yet. Let me talk about my disappointment with Bukky. My disappointment with Bukky is that I was in the same class in the University of Lagos for 4 years with Bukky. If you had known Bukky when she was in the university, you will, like she is looking now, you know, everybody in class, of course, had that thought, without any exception. I'd always looked at Bukky as one person God took his time to create. Nigerian screen. I was looking at Nollywood. Hollywood. Either as a model or as someone who was going to go into acting, because she had all the features, she had the moves, she had everything. She was just perfectly modeled into what she was in school. And considering also the fact that she was exceptionally intelligent as well, she was intelligent type. I think Bukky was one of those, also made a 2-1 Unilag in my class. Bukky was an outstanding person, and you had no doubt that our beauty and our brain was going to position her in such a way that I was seeing her as one of those Forbes would mention before she was 30 as under 30 CEOs and top people up there, But you see, in the journey of life, and like she said, she had parents who and very strict Catholics. Her father was a military man. I can feel it. My mom was even tougher. I was from a Muslim family. My father a Muslim military man. For the role she was occupying there, because I saw so much more in her and so much more potential. What she's doing right now is just what she's doing at this stage of her life. She's like going back to who she ought to have always been, so it's like going back to that on your mark now to start running the race proper, because those were places where she went to acquire maybe certain things that are, sometimes when you're going on in life, God has a way of posting you and making you go to learn some things, acquire some things that will be necessary for the journey. So I have no doubt that if Jesus has not come and this world exists and Bukky is still here, we are going to see so much more in her. And I know I will not be disappointed. I'm not disappointed doing that. I'm not disappointed at the fact that she said when that sack came, she was excited. That's unusual. It was like someone on social media once said that when she was sacked, someone was sacked on social media, she called a party for a sack. She was sacked and she called for a party. Why? Because it was not just about having the plan B. Bukky, right from school, you would always see a strategic thinker in her. You see it, she's a thinker. We're all trained to be thinkers. You'd always thought she's someone who would think outside the box. You'd always think she's someone who will survive, someone who's thrown into the water that does not know how to swim, but yes, she must survive. Someone who is put in leadership and is not trained to be a leader and must survive. So I'm not shocked about the characteristics. I'm not shocked about some of the things she's talked about here. I'm not even shocked about some of the business ideas she's talked about, but I know we will see so much more from Bukky. I actually see Bukky as someone who will be there tomorrow, mentoring quite a number of people to get better and become have our own show, piloting our own thing. I saw that deep personality in her right from school, from the beginning. When you talk about personality, the deep personality, the dominant personality, that personality that says, I'm a champion, that personality that says, I have my own thing together, that personality that says, I am a leader on my own. You can't boss me around. You can't tell me what to do. You can't tell me how to. Not that because you cannot tell me. Yes, you can, but I'm a leader on my own. That has always been in her from school. That had always been in her from school. So I'm not shocked at the person she has become. I always say, for those who are listening to her, I always see her as someone whose story and whose journey is worth following. I was privileged to have been in the same class with her. I was privileged to have been in Globalcom with her. And I'm also privileged to see the things she's doing now. Thank you so much, Bukky, for being an inspiration to a number of people. And I know you will continue to be a strong inspiration to a number of people. And thank you, Engineer POMPEY, for bringing individuals like this who would come here, to inspire a number of people. Thank you for being there yesterday. Apologies, I didn't know you were there. I would have had to mention your name. We look forward to doing so much more together. God bless you.
Mr. Joseph, before you go, she just mentioned one or two things. And yesterday you mentioned that at your work, the work intelligence training, that people that when you're meant to leave, you need to plan yourself before leaving, you need to plan your exit while you are still working. You really mentioned it. And I know because of that timing, because you rushed through all the whole thing yesterday, because of you are a speaker with time. You work with time, but that time they gave you was too short. Even the questions that they were asking, you couldn't finish, you couldn't do justice to all because of timing. But could you just make that same thing that you talk about exit? That exit, you need to plan your exit while you're still working. Can you just give us a brief about it? Because Bukky said to have something about it tonight.
Okay, Engineer Pompey, one of the chapters in the 15 chapter book that will be coming out in August. You are one of the supporters of that book coming out. Thank you very much.
In August. That's why I wanted to talk about it, because that book, we can't wait to have it.
Workplace intelligence is something I started teaching in 2019 to organizations and to individuals. And I found out that in the workplace make lots of mistakes. And these mistakes come out of the fact that if someone like me had known when I started off maybe my career, I would not have stayed in telecoms for 11 years and some months and all that. That because I would have had my exit plan from the beginning. You see, even the Bible talks about writing down the vision. If you're able to write down the vision, you're able to write down the direction, you're able to understand what your purpose is, and you're able to understand where you are. Like Socrates would say, man, know thyself. You know yourself, you know what you need, you know where you're going, you know how you're going there. There is a reason why you need, one of the chapters in that book is, I said you need to have an exit plan. Once you start working in an organization, you need to ask yourself the question, how long do I want to be here? Okay, why do I want to stay here for that long? Why is it necessary to stay for that long? What are the conditions that will make me stay? What are the signs I will see that will make me take off immediately? Now, one of the reasons why I wrote that chapter is because a number of people, when they start working as young professionals, for example, or even business people, they think that when they make money or when they start earning salary, the very next thing to do is to buy a car. The very next thing to do is to appear like a big boy or a big girl. The very next thing to do is your salary is 150, you buy a Brazilian Air of 300,000. You understand what I'm saying? So you have spent 10 years in an organization and you don't have 10,000 in your bank account. There is a need to plan. For some of you become bankers and the bank begin to give you loans that you may not be able to finish paying, even if you want to move somewhere else. So there's a need for you to sit down, like Socrates will say, man, know thyself. Okay, for an unexamined life is not worth living. Now, certain trainings together, I need to have those plans. What are your exit plans? How long do you want to be in an organization? How long do you want to work for someone? Do you want to work for someone all your life? Or while you're working for someone, you also want to resign at some point and go do your own thing? Like I always tell people, we all will not become entrepreneurs.
All right. I think the network cut them off. Okay.
Hello, what I tell such people is that you also need to learn to invest like an entrepreneur. Okay, so that part of the book is deep and it opens you to a number of things. From the beginning of your career, you need to have a plan on what you want to do with that career, how long you want to be in that place, and what you want to do later on after that. And then that plan also enters into your finances, so that when you're leaving an organization, you're not living there broke. You got in there broke, maybe you cannot afford to live there broke, because that would mean that the years you spent there was a waste. Okay, so you look forward to the book coming out. I'm sure it's going to expose a number of things to us. I don't know if you got all I said.
Yeah, we Yes, everything was gotten, was noted. Because before the launching of the book, because we are all part of this book, and I know what when it comes to intelligence, emotional intelligence training, workshop intelligence training, all these things are packed in that book. And even the price the book is going for, I believe you're just doing it because you want to give back to the economy. That's the way I see it, because that book is extraordinary loaded. Anyway, before that time, we need to bring Mr. Joseph, because I have some people dropping notes,
Engineer Pompey,
dropping
if
things
you
there
want
that
to,
when am I bringing it?
Hello. Sorry. I want to say a very big thank you to Engineer Pompey, okay, and to others, okay, who helped to, when you're publishing book in Nigeria today, it's a tough thing. If we had wanted to sell that book at the cost it's supposed to be, probably be selling from like 6,000 and above. But of course, we are able to reach out, and then with the support, we're sure the book probably will not go beyond the 3,000, max, hopefully, when it is out. But the content of it will guide your career and push you.
All right, the network. Okay, Bukky, I guess you can you hear me?
Yes, sure. I'm here.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, I think then. Okay, now Bukky, you've said a lot of things that really it's mind blowing. Now let's talk into the business of the day about how have you been able to get the awards. You got into real estate. You came to meet me as a friend. Oh, engineer, tell me things to do, the strategies about business. What are the business? Which I told you that some people go into business and they say that this business is not working. And I keep telling people that come for consultation, people that come to my training academy, I keep telling it is not the business that is not working. It is the strategy that you applied. If people in that same business are doing well, definitely change your strategy. So how were you able to do it when you got into this business in the space of 6 months? I saw what you are cashing out. I can't even mention it. How were you able to do it? Jogging clothing line with your makeup, with your fashion, because I was surprised when I came to your office, I saw you sewing. Why don't you, and you have money, you have people working for you. So how come you're still sewing? Why do you want to sew? Why do you then doing that? But now you now went to the real estate and you're broken. You're breaking out of Mr. That you are born, you're right from onset, fashion, you broke it, and you broke that record with that award they gave you. How were you able to do it?
Okay. Like I said before, the freedom of working for yourself and what you love to do is priceless. And I'm also reiterating that while I was working in the corporate organization, there were I learned so many things. I learned how to multitask, and I don't say no, never say never. Now, this person you're seeing is a woman with so many scars. Yes. And that's why I'm going to tell you to embrace failure. I said before, the one who never tried, okay? The one who tried and failed is better than the one who never tried at all.
Never tried.
You're going to meet a lot of shortcomings. Now, it's like seeing, okay, when you go to, rocks in maybe oceans or seas, they just didn't appear. You could see something very small, but its root is deep roots, rooted down into the abyss of the sea. It went through lots of transformation and all that. And this is where transformative character comes in. I'm able to juggle all that. I've lost my business in makeup before, where sometimes some things happened. Of course, live we throw curveballs at you. Sometimes the strongest are not the ones that are on the floor. But the strongest can be the ones that are still standing. And here we are, through the storms and all that. I've lost all my makeup equipment before. I've lost like a whole fashion house, my fashion business. I've lost it before. Order a cloth now, I'm still going to supply to you because I have to multitask. I have to think outside the box. That's what I'm saying. The most strongest sometimes, if they turn their back, there are people with lots of scars, you know, they've been through so much. Apart from suffering in my place of work, of course, the sack, which doesn't mean anything to me. Of course, my business has experienced shortfalls. And with that, I'm able to spring up again because I never give up. I never give up. Now, the fashion, of course, you can't do it all alone. Why do you think when people employ members of staff, why do you think engineer pumping, your PCV, your PCV business, you're supposed to wash, maybe clean up a mansion. Can you do that all alone? You have to designate. If you don't designate, then you're in for a downfall. You wear out. So being able to designate, you have to share portion of jobs to people. Okay, you do this, you do that. That's why you have departments. So I'm able to deliver because I don't do it all alone. I have my own team. Right now, if you come in now, I also produce clothes for business for big organizations. When they order, like what I'm wearing, I do most of this. I do this. I make, you know. So because I don't date myself. Oh, I can do it. I can do it. I designate, and that's because I've learned the masterpiece of working and the masterpiece of, you know, being able to do things, multitasking. While I was in the telecommunication, you have to multitask. It's like a woman cooking in the kitchen. Your baby is crying. You have to prepare food for your husband, and at the same time, someone is knocking at your door. You know you can do this at the same time. While you're preparing your food as a woman. Oh, I'm coming. Hold on, I'm coming. You rush to the door. I carry your baby. You get your baby first. The most important things. So you have to prioritize the most important thing. And with that, I'm able to get to that that avenue of delivering excellent and expert customer service to my clients and also my customers. But it's not easy being a mother of 2 kids, being a businesswoman. You really have to put your feet down and you have to multitask. Then rest. There are some times when your body will need you because the body is not a machine, where your body will need to tell you it's time for you to stop. Otherwise, you break down. So don't be afraid to give yourself time off. Don't be afraid to give yourself the break you need. Otherwise, you break down and crash. So you have to rest. At the same time, you have to think of making money. I'm not saying I'm the biggest of it all. Of course, it's a stage you have to get through. Like Joseph said, man, know thyself. You are the only one who knows yourself. You are the only one who can, nobody can define you. So it's in you, your innate being, that actually exponents who you really are. And that's why you'll be able to deliver. So do not forget your humble beginning. All right. Your innovative technology. Okay. All the things you put together, all the things you've known, all the training, you keep going for trainings, you keep expanding yourself, you keep bettering yourself for a better, output. Don't forget that. Then before you know it, the global stage. I wasn't expecting Engineer Pumping to call me. Oh, Bukky, come do this. And you know, it was like a fit for me. I'm like, but well, here we are. And not only here, I've given I've mentored students in school. I've mentored an organization before. I've been called, you know, to talk about customer service. I've been called to talk about shortfalls of being an entrepreneur. I've been called to talk about failures, embracing failures. So that's why I'm going to hammer it today. Nothing comes easy. You have to prepare your mind. You have to be strong enough, because he who doesn't fall cannot stand. You know, you have to fall to take a leap for the next step. A baby that has refused to walk will still be there while his mates are playing football out there. You can't be on the baby stage. Riding a bike also, you know, when you're riding a bike, of course you fall, you get bruised. Are you going to say because of those bruises, you're not going to ride the bike? So being an entrepreneur, you're going to face a lot of things. It could be even from your home. Well, for the women, the married women, your partner may not be the supportive type, may not be the type that, oh, go to the kitchen, go to the kitchen. You could face that shortfall also. Then you have to pray about it. So a lot of things, you know, a lot of things come in, but you just have to multitask because you know what you want. And don't let anything stop you. Never say never. Never give up. It's been 5 years now, 2018. This is 2022, you know, and not getting a monthly income. You know what it is? Not getting monthly income. It's not like there's this support from anywhere or blah, blah, blah. But we are still standing. That's because we are still in the building stage, ready to take off. And when I mean take off, like Joseph said, there are some things you expect, but you have to learn. You have to learn. If you don't learn, there's no how. There's this Yoruba proverb. Sorry, I'm a Yoruba woman. Oh, Gia. Oh, no, bon. Can a teacher, eh? Like, you didn't go through rigors of life. You didn't suffer. And you say you're smart, you're wise. So who is your teacher? Life has to teach you. You have to just, when you start now, you will have your shortcomings. That's going to come. And being able to juggle these things together is as a result of what I've learned in the past. My experience in life, in dealing with customers. We've had customers who will write to the organization, sack this so and so. She was rude, she was this, she was that. You have to learn also. And for those who are just entrepreneurs, they didn't have the opportunity of working for anybody. I think during this journey, the experience you gain, we also teach you. We also teach you some lessons, some life lessons. Sometimes the lessons we learn is not what people tell us. Sometimes it's until we learn that lesson. Somebody says, don't touch fire. Oh, they say we shouldn't touch fire. Oh, it burns. Oh, have you experienced it? But most times you don't have to wait. So that is why you have to use the experience of other people. You read books, go to YouTube, you see motivational, you know, quotes about being an entrepreneur, how to juggle this. You keep learning and establishing yourself every day. So through multitasking, and because I have a passion, because I don't want to be lazy, because I don't want to ask anybody for food. I don't want to ask anybody, oh, come and pay my house rent, come and this, come and do that. I'm talking on the layman language now. Not everybody has this mansion in Lekki and all that. So we need to put in our own experience. And from that experience, that's when you gain and you're able to give out. You can't give from an empty jar. You can't give from an empty jar. So for those, okay, for the men also, you have to pay your children's school fees. You have to pay for house rent. you have to take care of your family, your children fall sick. Are you going to say you're not going to do any of this? Of course, one part will suffer. But if you really want to know yourself responsibility, taking charge, and taking cognizance of the most important thing, okay, you're able to give. So out of experience, I've been able to multitask, and yeah, I think I'm always up to the task to multitask and deliver what I should deliver, because it was a rigorous journey. So at the
Wow.
same time, bearing
I
in
can
mind about
see.
risk. Yes.
Yeah. No, like you wanted to say something.
Yes, and that's where the risk comes in. That's where the risk. You have to be a risk taker. You have to be a risk taker. I remember when I needed to start my fashion business, I didn't know the value of the land I sold in Aja then until I joined real estate. And I looked at it, I said, no, one of the worst things you can do in business, well, I don't know, but this is my own policy. I don't borrow money. I don't borrow money. That's why I'm of the opinion of start small. From that starting small, you're able to grow. Now, I sold my property in Aja. And when I did real estate, the property I have then, you can't even get it at that amount. You can't even get it for 15 million naira now. And I'm like, oh my God, what have I done? So sometimes risk taking, the risk you take, but you won't believe. I mean, I don't want to blow my trumpet. I don't want to blow my trumpet. Maybe I should just stop there. But when you start making money, what you think, the risk you think you're taking, believe me, if you put in so much, you will get better than what you've spent before. And that is where risk comes in also. Risk management. It comes in, it's a lot in being an entrepreneur or entrepreneurship.
All right, Bukky, you've really dealt into a lot of areas that most of us here have gained from. I'm taking a lot of home. Life has to teach you. You know, it's a good word that I'm taking home. Life has to teach you is a what? You know, learning from the experience is already key. But you said something, you can never give from an empty jar, which is that, man, we need to take something home, because you can't give from what you don't have, you can't give. But from all what you've said, I was able to get to bring out something that I know you to be a giver. I know you to go to any length to help people, because we don't need to talk much about it. I know you do all those things to give to people. You can even dissatisfy yourself just to please people sometimes, if it warrants it, which I know. But I'm looking at it in a large scale. Is it where you worked, that was how you were able to get all this network? Because when it comes to people, you know people. That's why you keep talking about networking. Because I know that, is it those places that you worked, you were able to meet all those people, but how were you able to even network? How were you able to meet all these important people? You were responding to them with your kind of person you are, your status, the beauty and all that. How were you able to scale through with all this disturbance? And you didn't have all those disturbance.
Okay, first and foremost, if you're living this life and you don't put one thing first in everything, I personally, I put God first in everything I do. I'm a praying woman, and I always ask God for this thing: discipline, discipline, discipline. With discipline will take you anywhere in life. And meeting people is not about who you are or how you or the kind of people you attract. No. Like I said, when you start a business or when you're in business, the most important thing, okay, after training, is giving out excellent customer services. Now, when you relate to people, there's something called referral. People will want to refer people to you. Oh, go here, go there. Guess what? Do you know the day we were retrenched? Okay, I was giving this excellent customer service to an 89 years old man. Maybe okay, Alaji Agoro. I didn't even know it was him. And he came, he told me, oh, his phone, blah blah blah. His phone, they stole his phone when he went to the mosque. That was the day we were sacked. And I was the one on ground managing my shop then. The roundabout here in Ikeja. He came and he was like, can you imagine? With his shaky voice. He came with his AIDS and all that, with his shaky voice. Oh, can you imagine? I was praying and they stole my phone. They stole my phone. Guess what? Because of the kind of person I am, because of my background, one, in knowing God and fearing God. When you fear God, you will fear man. Fear man is in the sense that you will learn to you will have empathy on people. You put yourself in their shoes. How do they feel? Where I was working was not mine, but this is somebody like my own father came in. How would I have felt if my dad went to pray somewhere and we didn't have the phone he wanted to buy? Immediately, I told one of my subordinates, okay, do this. Okay, sir, we don't have this phone. Let me take you to slots where you can get this particular phone. I drove into slots. I left my point of duty, drove into slots. Of course, we didn't have that particular phone in the workshop. Guess what? After I took him there, and he asked, what's your name? I said, my name is blah, blah, blah. When we got to the office. And he said, when I was registering him, I saw his name, Alaji so Agoro. And I was like, sir, you're referring to, this person, are you the father of so and so? And I was like, yes, I'm the father of Dr. This. I'm the father of, his kids were my friends that I met way back in America. And way back Unilag. I've done makeup for his daughter before. I've even been to his house. Now, can you see? Sorry to say, Yoruba proverb says, Omi leyan. You don't know who you're going to meet. So in your journey, you have to be cautious. Supposing I did not attend to him well, and he went, oh, I met this very haughty person, blah, blah, blah. Do you know, after he left, I went to my system to log on. I didn't even see any of my colleagues on the floor. And I was like, prepare a query for this person. Why are they not on the floor? They were upstairs, they were crying. And I said, okay, let me go and start typing their query. Guess what? Because they left the floor, they had already received their sack notice. Do you know, I called him the next day. I said, sir, you were the last person I attended to when I lost my job. I mean, before I lost my job. He was like, what? Oh, Bukky, come and see me, so and so. And he called a doctor and he asked me, sorry, we have a blackout. I'm sorry, Nigeria, that's Nigeria for you. And he sorry, there's a blackout here. And he called someone immediately. Ejo, eba mi fi sise. And guess what? That doctor called me when he saw my CV and everything. He said, can I employ her? She's too much for my company. And I said, Alaji, no, don't worry, sir. I already have plans to start doing my own thing. Now, talking about people, meeting people, engineer pumping, it's how you present yourself. It's how you treat people. That's why you have to be cautious. Every point in life, you have to be careful because you don't know who's going to help you. And the same way, you have to train yourself, not being haughty, not being proud, because you just don't know. Number one, I want you to take this home. Be careful while going up. Because you will know who you meet when you're coming down. What goes up must always come down. That's why you see a lot of companies during COVID-19, a lot of them shut down. They couldn't even stand the break of dawn. So things happen. So you have to train yourself how to treat people, have empathy, because you don't know who you will meet while you're going down, and you don't know who is going to pick you up. I also had this, my boss, is one of the overall boss right there. And he told me, I said, Bukky, the way you walk, I want you to come and work in my company someday. And when they sack it, he was calling me, oh yeah, Bukky, what about me, Shishe? Come and help me handle this, my stubborn stuff. Because I knew you were very strict. I know you to be a Margaret Thatcher, blah, 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 blah. I said, no, it's not about being Margaret Thatcher. It's about discipline. I had 4 job, offers. And because I knew what I wanted, I said, no, I'm not taking any job. I don't want anybody. I don't want to work for anybody again. I know what I carry and I know what I want to put in. So you need to learn how to train your mind, yourself, in giving people, in treating people the way you want to be treated. Can I tell you something? Do you know, each time I walk into any bank or they attend to me like professionals. Once I step in, I'm seeing your body language. I'm reading your body language. I know who is rude and who, because this is what I've been trained to do. And so when someone is being like a dicey or slouching and all that, I just smile. Then when I start talking our terms, and they're like, upbeat and all that, this person, she really knows her onions. And I tell them, I say, look, listen, if you don't want to do this job, why don't you resign? Why don't you resign? Because if you treat other people's business this way, then how do you want to treat yours? A lot of times I wake up 5 o'clock. I'm the type who doesn't travel. A friend of mine, I don't know, I think she's here, Bolanle, she tell me, Bukky, why are you traveling to Aja? Why are you traveling to Ekpe? Why are you traveling to Ibadan? No, I'm training my mind. I don't want to be too comfortable. So you have to train your mind. You have to have empathy. Treat others the way you want to be treated. And I think it's
all right.
A long way. Yeah.
Thank you. That's a thank you thing that you gave us. So now, while we are rounding up, if you have questions, kindly you can raise up your hands where we'll call you. If you have any question, kindly raise up your hand. And we've really spent a lot of times with her. I believe she can take on and on, but because of time, we need to work with our time. So if you have any question, kindly you can drop it to the chat room, and or you raise up your hand, so while we call on you. And the other part is, Bukky, you've mentioned a lot of things and all that, but will you just tell us why we are expecting those questions? Can you just tell us, okay, there's a question here. Can you tell us the challenges you faced while climbing the ladder? The question says, can you tell us your challenges?
Like I said, when you see the strongest, right? When you see anybody, I don't know about people, but I'm a woman with so many scars. One, most of the challenges I face sometimes, now multitasking. I'm somewhere and somebody is calling me. Oh, okay, most times my partner is not usually in town. I'm somewhere and someone calls me, oh, your child is very ill somewhere. Your child is ill and all that. How do you now I have to juggle business and motherhood? Sometimes customers, like I said before in the beginning of this Zoom meeting, I said when I was doing my fashion business, okay, because Nigerians and Igbo people, they'll say they brought things from America, they'll post some clothing and put Beyonce. They've copied Beyonce style. Now I sell these things. People call me, okay, but you told me this is size 14, but you sent size 8. And I was able to juggle that challenge by going to learn how to make, to the glory of God. I have my little factory where I produce clothes. I don't have to be there. Sometimes even this real estate. Okay, now one of the biggest challenges I faced in my business. Somebody wanted to buy a house of 40 million last week, and I've been talking with this person for the past 2 months. He called me. He called me 4 days ago, and he said, we've gone there, checked the place, taking my upliners there, and he just called me out of the blues. Okay, guess what? When you won't believe what happened to me. Do you know my wife in America got to know I wanted to buy this house for my girlfriend in Lekki? And what's my business? I just wanted my own money, And I'm like, so what will happen? And it was like, she already threw my things out in America. So I have to rush down to America to sort those things out. And he had already deposited about 30%. So you can imagine going to court, you can imagine that big issue, But because I have trained my mind to absorb some shock, like a shock absorber, like nothing perturbs me, because I've been through so much, like in this business thing and all that. And if you are not too focused on money, if you are too money conscious, honestly, you might die doing business. All those men, right? Container don't break, container don't sink, you see them, and they are on the floor at attack. Don't be too money conscious. And I said to myself, well, maybe maybe that business is not meant to be for me. I was still telling my aunt about it. I'd already, planned some things. Oh, this is what I'll do with this money when this money comes. So these are challenges. And what? Without every disappointment is a blessing. So just take it that anything you're doing. Okay, what about those people who is one? Okay, Steve Jobs. He had health challenges, but he died. As long as you have life, all right, it's only when you drop dead that's when you will never face challenges in life. And so you have to take care of your health, take care of your mental health. So when these challenges come like arrows, you can stand firm. Don't take life too serious, where you now get to lose it. I hope I've answered your question.
Okay, first, I believe she has answered the question. The person that asked, okay, another question here says, okay, Juniola asked a question. It said, is your husband in support of all these businesses?
Well, okay, this is a truth or let me say truth or dare kind of thing. Now, some spouses, right? Sometimes some of them I feel how will I put it? They might feel a bit off balance, or they might feel insecure. Some can be extremely jealous, but to the glory of God, the kind of person I have is someone who, is just indifferent. It's just indifferent, and it didn't affect my day-to-day activities. It didn't at all. As long as I'm doing the right thing, and like I said, discipline as a woman. And that's why I was talking with someone yesterday, and the person was like, she was like, Bukky, this person just bought a house. Maybe her boyfriend bought it for her. And I scolded the person immediately. I said, you know what? I hate when people attach, some funny things to women. Why is that when you see a woman doing so well, You say, oh, somebody is doing this for her, somebody is doing that for her. You understand? So those things too are there. Like I remember when I was chosen as an outstanding staff in my place of work then, I heard stuff. As a matter of fact, I had to go and meet my manager. I told my manager, I said, I don't want to be an outstanding staff again. He said, Bukky, why? For your KPI. I said, I don't want them to kill me. And he said, why? They said, Bukky, all she does is to wear high heel and do coco around the office. But hey, when I wake up 5 o'clock every day, 5 a.m., leave my kids, leave my own front, and my husband was not even, he was in support of my progress at work. I closed work every day, 10 o'clock, 10 p.m. Engineer POMPEY, you can attest to this. Or maybe, okay, Joseph was not in my department. And your KPI says it all. And definitely, people will definitely talk. People will talk. And you must have someone, even if you don't have a supportive spouse. But when he sees you're a disciplined woman, you're a virtuous woman, you're a woman of class, a woman of integrity, likewise the men too, anybody will believe you. So it's how you train yourself. That's how anybody sees it. But if you're the type that where you say you are and they're not meeting you there, then you're in for a roller coaster failure. That is a recipe for failure. So discipline should be a woman's number one or a man's number one priority in being an entrepreneur. So I think I've answered that question. I don't know if I have.
Hello.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. All right. Yeah. The question. Okay. Bayonle says, he said, I'm in a business. Okay. I'm working for someone now. I have passion for real estate. What will you advise, ma? Should I leave my salary work and go for my real estate passion?
Okay, now this is it. Before you leave, okay, before you plan your leave, what have you ever thought? Have you considered some of the most important things? You don't just leave. Most of us that were retrenched, okay, some of us didn't leave because we wanted to. Some of us were forcefully ejected. Now, before you start that, like I had my plan B. I'd already started doing things. I'd already started doing, little businesses before while I was working, spending my weekend. So if you want to go into real estate, first and foremost, I want you to go to YouTube, check, see how, before you delve into that business or any business, you have to learn about the business. Don't just leave your salary paying job. I'm so sure if you leave, when and how do you want to stand firm on your feet? Business is not for the faint-minded. Don't forget that. So first and foremost, you have to start learning these things. You have to start learning gradually during weekends. Sometimes, okay, maybe after this, I could put you through one or two things. Sometimes we go through, there are some organizations, we join. We have lots of them out there. Just start climbing the steps gradually. It's a business for all. So for you to be a success, don't leave your salary paying job right away. Don't just come out of the pool and jump into an ocean because you think you know how to swim. Some people only know how to swim in shallow ends. You have to learn to get off. I don't know if I'm making sense.
All right. I believe she must have done that. And also, I will send you Mr. Joseph number. I think he is going to be in the best position. Unyijola, I will send you Mr. Joseph number. Joseph can take you on some intelligence, what you need to do. And that book is going to publish. I think if you get that book, you'll be able to understand what you need to do for your exit plan. So don't worry, I will send you Joseph's number. He will attend to that issue. I think Bukky has I've said her own part. And do we have any other question? In absence of that, I believe she has really done a very good job tonight so that we can call it a day. Bukky, you've really done a good job. Thank you. And I'm happy to see you where you are today because I can imagine the journey and I know what it is, but for you not to relent and keep doing it. PCV Training Academy, we are business coach and cleaning industrial expert. We tell you how to grow your business if you're coming into facility management business. We'll tell you what to do and what you need to put on. A lot of things that you need to do. And yes, someone is asking for me Joseph's number. I will send it to you. And if he's still around, I think he will drop it in the chat room. You can pick it up. And when the book comes out, like Doyin said, when are we bringing him? We brought Mr. Joseph before. That was, I think, last year, but maybe before the book. Oh, okay, let's see what we can do. If I can even bring him one of these days. But he has been here before. And I think when it comes to intelligence training and everything about HR and intelligence, is in best position to tell us and give us a lot of things that we need to know. That is Joseph for us. So Bukky have done the best and not to take much of our time anymore. Okay, another question from, who is this? Okay, another question from David. Okay, Madam Bukky, can you advise someone that is into facility management or cleaning business to start a real estate business? So Bukky, can you get that?
Yeah, sure. Look, let me tell you something. Real estate, right, is a business. Anybody can go into anything as long as you have the mindset to do it. Of course, it's a very rigorous one. It's time taking, but you can delve into anything. You can even expand your business, and it's a very profitable business. Real estate is profitable. One hit, maybe you have to rest for the year. But of course, man's want is always insatiable. Once you hit, you want to keep climbing, climbing, climbing. Of course, why not? As long as you can, like we said in the beginning of this meeting, multitasking. It's not going to affect your cleaning business, and they don't clash. So you have to learn to multitask. Sometimes I start my day by 5 a.m. as a mom. I start my day at 5 a.m. and I don't get home till probably 11 p.m. It's that beautiful. So you have to train your mind and know that someday your hard work is going to speak for you. Yeah.
Okay, I believe she has answered that. And okay, we have people just they're saying, okay, they said, well done, madam. I've been able to take down some notes. That is coming from Norwood event. Sabino said, I will be interested to get the book. That is Mr. Joseph. I will send his number, and that's Joseph's number. I will send it to you. So Luke Glory said, thank you very much, ma. It was very insightful. We have, is it Penilu? Okay, Peninsula. Great job from the speaker. So he said, I would like to have Madam Bukky's numbers. Yeah, no problem. Just chat me out. I will drop it in the chat room. And we also have, I would like to have, okay, Madam Bukky, I'm very grateful. God bless you more. This webinar is very good. I have learned a lot. Okay. Okay, Engineer Baldwin, God bless you more for putting up this. No, thank you. Amen. Fantastic point, man. Oh, technique support set and fantastic point, man. Thank you very much for that. I think there's no more question here. It's just a compliment. And oh, okay. I think after this question, there's no more question. Let me just take this question alone. This is from Miriam, and it says, "Yeah, Madam Bukky, like how much can somebody use to start up a clothing business?"
You know, starting up a clothing business, you can start with as as small as 10,000 naira, and you can go as high as 1 million naira, 20 million naira. But the thing is, you have to start small. Now, if I say 10,000 naira, what are the? Let me just give you little tips. How did I start my clothing business? If I give you one secret, do you know when I was in Unilag? I don't want you guys to laugh, but I mean, we are trying to, like, I'm a very, very open person. I'm not the type that I don't hide and I don't pose. Let me tell you how I started my own clothing business. I started my clothing business while I was in Yaba Tech. Okay, you know railway, you know railway, Yaba Railway.
Yes, yes.
Now I just want to prove a point to you. Yaba Railway. Guess what? There was something called Okrika, second hand. Okay. Now, because I used to go to Unilag, I wanted to be a Unilag student. I was in Yaba College of Technology. I said, and then most people in Yaba, they had to go to like the big girls and so-called and all that. They had to go to collectibles. They had to go to steps. If you know collectibles way back then, of course, on Adena or Ogusoya, that was like one of the reigning spots, okay, for fashion and all that. Now I saw Unilag students as my, I saw them as a hot spot. Now I said I went to this Yaba Railway and got this second hand. Took some of these things, okay? It's just a secret, though. I'm not supposed to say this, but let me just tell you some things. You have to be smart. You have to think smart. Now, and I think I was the only one that did that thing. I went to the railway, got some clothes, took them to the dry cleaner. Then we had this pencil. Then they had pencil pants that just came out. We had this crop top and all that. And you can get those things in collectibles. I used to buy my things from collectibles because I told you I was making money for my modeling and my my modeling business. I was making cool cash, but I needed more. All right. And because of my passion for business, my passion for sales and fashion, I went here and got those things, ironed them, gave it to dry cleaner, put them in nylon, they sealed it, and I put those things, went to Unilag, just sat there in front of Moremi. I'm selling. Of course, when they see me wear really nice, beautiful things, then also your output, your outlook. Who is selling? Who are you selling to? Who you that you're selling? Who are you? You understand? Your presentation. Of course, they saw a chick. Me, I was very slim. Oh, they saw a chick. Oh, I love your shoes. I love. Oh, I'm selling. People came and said buy it. People from Unilag, we come to Yaba Tech to buy from that OND1 student in Yaba Tech. So that was how I started. Then I started traveling out of the country, buying things, selling to my colleagues and all that. So start with anything you have with the aim of making profits and growing. If I had the time, I'd have showed you some of my things I make that are like what they produce abroad now. So you can start with anything, but do not despise your days of humble beginning, because that'll be your super story for tomorrow.
All right. Thank you very much. I think the time is well spent. We've really exhausted you. So any other question, you can direct it to me direct on the WhatsApp. And this is PCV Training Academy. This is we call it knowledge sharing, where we bring in people and entrepreneurial We bring in gurus from different sectors of the business, people that have gone through the hustles, which have gone through the ups and downs and still understand the business, and they are still on top. What we are doing this is just to encourage ourselves. We can do it. There's nothing anybody can do that you can't do. It's all about your passion. It's all about passion alone cannot do it. I keep telling people that comes to my training, passion alone can't do it. You have to go with your discipline. If you're passionate and you don't have discipline, you might not grow. There's difference between investors and CEOs. There's a training coming up. Just unfortunate that physical training for engineer pumping closed down this month because I need to go and rest. I'm going for my own summer too. But when I return back to the country, we'll start physical, but the online will still be going on. But I will tell you, investor, investor, and CEOs, there's two different things. But most of us want to be a CEO. But I will tell you that, do you know that investors make more money than CEOs? But what we all want to know is, oh, I want to be an investor. I want to be a CEO. But I'll tell you, you can do a lot of things and to make money in Nigeria. Cleaning business is lucrative business. Cleaning business is business that nobody saw it coming. Even the Bukky that I invited today is one of our model. He modeled for my brand. You know, it's something that I appreciate him a lot. So I keep saying it, a lot of things that we need to put together to make this thing to work. She has done it. She has climbed from a zero to Ariel today, but she has told us what she went through. It's not a day journey. As I tell a lot of people who tell me they started the business after 5 months, they are complaining. It's not a business. They say business start after 10 years. A lot of 65% of the business dies from age of from 1 to 5 years. They say 25 dies from 5 to 10 years. Why? It's only 15 that remains from 10-year upward. But you can start a business and you're expecting you to make gain. When you're going into the business, I'm a business, yeah. This is Engineer Dr. Pumping. I'm a business coach and cleaning industry expert. I tell you how the business works. If I can make 7-digit business every month, you can do it. It's all about how you apply it. Cleaning business has gone to the next level, not the same way we are saying it. But how have you been applying it? PCV Training Academy, why I initiated it, were people that comes through that academy, they've seen what we're talking about. Mentor, your mentor. Your mentor is what you need to know. What is your mentor doing? You're going for a training and the person training you, he doesn't have any record to speak about. And he wants to train you. That means you're going to follow what the full step of what he's going to tell you. Forget what we see. Forget what we hear. Go for people. I love doing things that I see physically. If you tell me that you want to teach me something, let me see the effect in you. You said you're into this business. How much are you making? Let me see the impact so that I will know that I will follow the footsteps. Don't read it and be telling me, let's see the act. Let's see that thing itself. So Bukky has done a very good job for us tonight. I really appreciate that. So we still have our online training. While we are away, we're going for another training. We're going for a different course somehow. So I'll be returning back soon to start the physical training. We have our training center where you can even a very standard and modern training center for 50 now. We've expanded again. We've gotten more, which is 50. We're going to send you can come if you want to rent it. If you want to use it you can come, contact us, you get us on that. So please, next month is another month. We are bringing another fantastic speaker for next month. And you'll see, since you said you want us to bring in ladies, that we'll be bringing men. Now we are doing that. Last month we brought Bukky. This year we're bringing someone else. So by September, the ladies on while we go by and bringing people that can impact knowledge in our life. It's not about bringing people. Let's see those people, how can they impact knowledge? What have they done to make it work? What have they been doing? We need to know this thing is doable. If anybody tells you it's not, it is. If I can do it, you can do it. When somebody says, how have you been charging? And you're charging millions of naira just for us to clean. If I can do it, you can do it. It's all about how you set yourself. And these are the people that she has said a lot of things tonight that I'm even gaining from. So please, she has done her best. Thank you, Bukky. You've spent a lot. We said it's going to be 1 hour, 20 minutes, but you've spent close to 2 hours. Thank you very much. And as we all do, can we just unmute and just appreciate our speaker while we say good night and have a blessed Sunday? Can we unmute ourselves and do that while we close this section? Thank you for coming. Next month is another month.
Thank you, Madam Bukky.
Hello,
Thank you, Madam
you.
Bukky.
Good night,
God
engineer.
bless you.
Engineer Pompey. Good night, everybody.
Thank you.